Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to another episode of Football in the Americas, Ball Chat Football in the Americas. I'm your host, Benton, along with Junior. How are you doing, boss?
I'm here. How is everything?
And we're doing well, sir. We're
Okay,
doing quite well. We're doing quite well. And come on, how are you doing?
I'm good.
I'm good. And so, football fans or soccer fans, this is where we review football in our own backyard. And we start off with our MLS roundup. Atlanta United won the what kind of foolish cup this week? The Champions Cup in America. Chapononas Cup. What was that? And your thoughts on that? Was that foolishness? Come on.
You know what? A cup is a cup because Atlanta celebrated like it was the Champions League of MLS. So I think a cup is a cup. The game was a little bit salty. I kind of enjoyed it because it was rough and tumble. But in regards to the cup, it's just like what Arsenal love to have, a chimney.
and Junior, it was a good football game, but on a Wednesday night,
It was like, I think the formula is a little bit off, and the reason why the formula is off is because both competitions have different schedules.
yes.
They have opposite schedules. It would be nice if at the end of the season, the winner of the MLS plays against the winner of the Mexican League.
Yes.
That I think that's where they want to go ultimately.
Ultimately.
But because MLS for some reason decides that they want to cascade their season with
Yes.
the FIFA schedule.
Yes.
But overall, it's a very good game. Like I put in the chat that it reminds me of an indoor game, and I said that with the utmost of respect. It was high intensity. The ball was on the pitch for the full 90 minutes.
Yes, it kept moving.
It just kept moving.
Kept
So it's a
moving.
great game, and I think if they figure it out, or if they figure out a schedule, a time when they can be in prime time, in the off season, that could be a very good game for the region.
Yes. And there are rumors of trying to foster more competition between, the Mexican or other Central American leagues and MLS. So MLS won a cup finally against other Central American rivals. Now to our MLS roundup. Big news: Houston Dynamo have a new coach. Come on, my brethren Cabrera is at home chilling right now. Devi Arnoud is the interim. I mean, this is not a shock, right?
No, but it was surprising because Caballero is USA molded, right? So he has been in the system for a very long time, and I thought they would be a little bit more lenient since he wasn't really a foreign coach. But they were just not doing well. They were poor, all over the pitch. They were poor. So we all know that even though you have poor players, the coaches would be the person to get terminated. And unfortunately, it was him.
And Cabrera got terminated right before he asked for help from VAR. do we notice any connection? Junior,
It says a conspiracy.
it is a conspiracy running around.
It feels like it.
LA Galaxy to play on the field. LA Galaxy, Zlatan is back, scored 2 goals. Seattle Sounders pulled them back. Game ended 2-2. I mean, LA Galaxy is just all about Zlatan, right? Without Zlatan, it's pretty much an impotent team.
Yeah, very, very much so. Very much so. I mean, and again, is my favorite word that I like to say on football in America: parity.
It's parity.
So, I mean, even we're going to talk about the Atlanta games. I don't want to segue it too early, but these games are so unpredictable. If you were to ask me last week, what is my prediction? I honestly would think that LA Galaxy would beat the brakes off Seattle because Zlatan is coming back, and he will come back with blood in his eye, and he did came back with blood in his eye, but like his team drained out the blood.
Not enough blood. Enough blood. Come on. Other big hits from on the field. I mean, DC United lost to Vancouver Wildcats. I mean, it's not a surprise. It was at Vancouver.
Yeah, and it was rough because Wayne Rooney was very upset when he was substituted. He kind of went in on the fourth official. He wasn't pleased with the calls that were made on the pitch. Some were a little bit questionable, yes, but as a professional and a leader of the team, it was a little bit poor, for him to see. DC, they kind of fell off. They were at one point leading the standings. Now we're, dropping right down, but we're still in playoff contention. So hopefully we can see some improvement going forward.
And Rooney's always mad. Junior, Chicago Fire secured a victory to actually continue to keep their playoff hopes on live support. I mean, if they even make the playoffs, what they're going to do? Your thoughts?
How many teams really have a chance when they make the playoffs?
Yeah.
So, hey.
Come on, any other major takeaways from the MLS this weekend?
LAFC, they're the first team to reach the playoffs. They cinched their spot by beating, who did they beat? They actually beat, what did they beat again?
Yeah.
Real Salt Lake 2-0.
Yeah.
And with that victory, Carlos Vela, he now has the most combined goals and assists in a single season with 39. In 2015, Gerald Winkler, he had 22 goals and 16 assists. Now Vila has 24 goals and 15 assists. So he has been moving up the charts. He has been very good for MLS, bar the foolish.
Seems like we lost Cameron there.
Yeah, it seems like.
Go ahead, Cameron.
But LAFC has been, very good.
Yeah. Final takeaway: Portland hosts Atlanta United this evening at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in a rematch of last year's MLS Cup final. I mean, what do you expect? Portland has really kind of built a fortress, Junior.
Not only that, I heard a stat that I found quite amusing. Atlanta has lost their last 6 road games in the MLS. I think it's either 6 or 7, but I'm pretty sure it's 6. Could be 7 tonight.
Yes, or it might be 8.
That's troubling for us Atlanta United fans, because Atlanta United will not have home field through the playoffs.
Yes.
And if you cannot win 1 out of 6 games or 7 games, I think it's 6. But that's troubling for me. So regardless of what Portland is building, building a fortress, do we really expect Atlanta United to win tonight? Coming off the heels of playing a game Wednesday night.
Yes.
A high intensity game on Wednesday night.
Yeah. Come on, care to elaborate on the game tonight? I'm taking a break from the Atlanta United drama right now.
I'm going to borrow a word from Junior, or a phrase from Junior. I hope Portland beat the brakes off Atlanta tonight. It's just ridiculous. I need Atlanta to actually come right back down to earth. They're playing good football, yes, but not great football. So I see Portland beating Atlanta in a very high-paced, competitive game. Nagby is going home. He's going to play against his old team. So it's going to be interesting with the Chara and Nagby matchup.
Yeah, last time Atlanta United seemed to have won a game on the road was at Vancouver 1-0. Yeah. It's been a while. 5 Stripes deal with us side tonight, even though I do expect it to be a really tough matchup. And to segue from the on the field Atlanta United to off the field, Frank de Boer and his comments this week in Football in the Americas. Frank de Boer said it's ridiculous to pay women the same rate as men at the international level because of the amount of eyes that are watching both sets of players play. Frank de Boer should stay out of this sort of deal, right? Come on, he should be focused on coaching Atlanta United, you think? Your thoughts?
Yeah, he should be, but let's be fair. Somebody asked someone a question. You can say, no comment, or if you're going to make a comment, make it a thoughtful comment. I don't think he was very empathetic to the plight of especially U.S. let's just say the U.S. women's national team, because this is what it's focused around.
Yes.
But I just didn't like his wording. I didn't like his phrasing, and I just thought he was a little bit dismissive in his comments. So yeah, he should try and focus on winning Atlanta's. Let Atlanta win the MLS title, and just stop being, someone who was not sympathetic.
And you're absolutely right. Come on, he was not sympathetic, but to give Frank de Boer an excuse, this is what his third language.
Don't do that. Don't do that, because I think he speaks 8 languages.
Right? Yes, his third. The third one he learned in the line. Darren Eales, of the president of the Atlanta United Football Club, was on local sports talk radio in the A where we were located, and he is resoundingly emphasized that these are the opinions of Frank de Boer and does not reflect the opinion of Atlanta United. Junior, how does a coach, and then later Frank de Boer released a statement to clarify. Your thoughts on this? I mean,
first of all, the statement that was released is not from Frank de Boer.
Okay.
That is management trying to smooth it over.
Smooth it over.
His real comment is his first comment, and I think Frank de Boer took off the hat as a coach and put on his player hat.
Okay.
And worse, a Dutch player hat. Let's not forget the exploit of the Netherlands in the World Cup.
Yes.
So I think that's some form of patriotism coming out, and I don't know how the question was framed. I don't know what led up to the question. I don't know what was said after the question. But we only got that little snippet. Frank de Boer simply should have just said, it is not my place to talk. He could even, I would have rather joke, look, I coach men. I'm not going to talk about the women. I coach the men's team. Ask the females coach. It's that simple. Just keep your opinions to yourself, valid or not. Keep your opinions to yourself.
Freedom of expression, but Frank de Boer put himself in as the granny say, by yourself, you draw down fire right now. So Frank de Boer got himself in a bit of hot water here. And we'll see how this plays out, but it's, as Camon said, there was no empathy in the statement. And, I don't know if the word ridiculous, but those were the quotes that was made by Frank de Boer. And to update football fans or soccer fans, the Dutch women's team has really recently garnered a major victory in terms of securing payment or increasing payment from the Dutch Football Federation. So maybe Frank de Boer is not even very happy about that.
That's where.
And to segue from Frank de Boer and women's football and lack of payment for women's players for their exploit on the field to the breakdown in mediation between U.S. Soccer Federation and the women's national team, the U.S. women's national team. Come on, I think this is going to end up in the courts, right? A jury trial.
It should. I mean, it should. And based on quotes from players, especially Megan Rapinoe, they're not happy. And I don't think they're going to take this sitting down. And I think they should. I mean, U.S. Soccer, they have this huge pot of money sitting on. And for you to have this team that goes out there and represent the country, they won the World Cup. And it's not like they were playing against 6 Thailand teams. They went out there and they beat the best and they won a back-to-back World Cup. And you're telling them that, listen, we appreciate what you have done for us, but even though the U.S. men's national team didn't make the World Cup, when they play these friendly games, their bonuses or incentives should be more than you. It's just like you're working at this workplace and you're doing all the work, but yet someone else who comes in 2 times per week gets even the same amount of money or even more. It's not fair. It's unfair.
U.S. Soccer Federation, Carlos Caldera and his administration has put out numbers. The U.S. women's national team spokesperson Molly, I can't remember her last name, and said those numbers are false. It's a lot of back and forth in the press. Junior, how you see this ending up? Or is it too early to say?
It's not too early to say. I'm going to say something I'm going to regret saying this. But do not be surprised, people, when in November, do not be surprised if this tug of war doesn't spill over in the political world.
Yes,
in the U.S. political world. Do not be surprised if
next year, November,
the president
chime in.
That president chime in, and do not be surprised if the Democratic candidate chime in, and do
Yes.
not be surprised if Megan Rapinoe is on the stage with whoever the Democratic
Yeah.
primary winner is.
Yes, yes.
Do not be surprised. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
This is in for a lot, and it might go to the federal court. I mean, to the Supreme Court. And do not be surprised if the president's
Judges.
judges.
There's no president judge, my bad.
We know the president picked
Yes.
judges. Do not be surprised if they pick in an unfavorable way. And that's all I gotta say.
Well, it's too early for all of that, but we'll see.
It's heading that way.
It's heading that way. May just head that way. The U.S. men's national team did come out and support the women's national team and said that what the U.S. Soccer Federation is sending out regarding those numbers is also a bunch of foolishness. So we will see how this plays out. I mean,
Real quick.
yes.
The men have to do that. I'm gonna tell you why the men
Yes.
have to do that.
Yes.
Because the U.S. Soccer Federation can come back and say, you know what, you're right. It should be equal pay. We're going to pull the men's pay down. That is a very real possibility. Let us not go around that. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to slide. There's a lot coming.
And there's a lot coming on now. One other thing that I wanted to get your opinion on quickly, come on, as we wrap up football in the Americas. The women's team are getting guaranteed salaries, and in some circles that is frowned upon, whereas the men's are playing on bonuses and certain add-ons. Do you have an issue with, or does, to football fans out there, soccer fans out there, guaranteed doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get more money? But your thoughts on that, come on.
The men on the I cannot understand why people might be upset about that little portion of it. But they have to realize that most of the women who play on the national team playing NWSL, they don't make the same salary as the guys that play in MLS who plays on the national team. So they get guaranteed salary, of course. Why not?
Okay. I agree. Football fans, soccer fans, that's it for Football in the Americas. You can link us on social media. Ball Chat Podcast on Instagram, Ball Chat 1 on Twitter, Ball Chat Podcast or Ball Chat on Facebook. It's which one, brother?
Ball chat.
Ball Chat on Facebook, Ball Chat Podcast at Gmail. You can email us. We'd like to hear your opinions. Jennifer, I know you're very upset about the entire Frank de Boer fiasco and what has transpired, and you're an angry Atlanta United season ticket holder, but we'll talk another time. Football fans, soccer fans.
Like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Tell all your friends. We have multiple shows. We'll have offer great content. Tell your friends. We're here.
Atlanta United beat Portland tonight.